Hi, I'm Miss Hearn. Let's get started. We're going to be talking about the center radius form of a circle. So what we're going to do next is just apply this formula, the center radius form of a circle. And what I mean by that is if I give you an equation of a circle in center radius form, I just need you to be able to identify the center radius and graph the circle. And we'll start with the equation x minus 2 squared plus y minus 1 squared equals 9. So when you're doing this, you want to compare this to the x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. And remember, hk is the center and r is the radius. So let's start by identifying the radius. So since this is a circle in center radius form, and on the end here, this number 9 is r squared. So now we want to say, well, if r squared is 9, that must mean that r is, we're going to just have the positive square root of 9, which is 3. And our center is going to be hk. Now, h is the number that's being subtracted from the x. So in this case, 2 is being subtracted from the x. So the x coordinate of the center is 2. And k is the number that's being subtracted from the y. So in this case, that would be a 1. So we have the center 2, 1. So in this particular example, it wasn't so tricky to find h and k because those numbers were both being subtracted. But sometimes you'll have an addition symbol for one or both of those center coordinates. So let's see what we do in that case. Okay, so let's say that I wanted to graph the equation x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 16. So you can tell by the pattern that it fits that this is going to be the graph of a circle. It matches up with x minus h squared plus y minus k squared equals r squared. We can find the radius very quickly. We know that r squared is 16. That means that r is equal to 4. So our radius is 4. But the tricky part is identifying h and k. H is the number that we're subtracting from x. So you might think that you have to write a 3, but 3 is not being subtracted from x. Adding 3 to x is the same as subtracting negative 3. So it's not actually 3 that's our x coordinate of our center, it's negative 3. So in other words, look for the opposite of the sign you have here. Now with the k, that's a little easier because we're looking for what's being subtracted from y, and this one has a negative, so it's just a 2. So just think opposite. So we found that our center was negative 3, 2. So now I'm going to plot this. So going out to negative 3 and up to 2, we have our center, negative 3, 2. Be sure and label your points on your graph. And then we're going to go up 4, down 4, to the right 4, and left 4. So remember, all that comes down to is adding and subtracting 4 to each of the x and y coordinates individually. So what I mean by that is to go up, you add 4 to the y coordinate. So that's going to be negative 3, 6. Okay, to go down, you subtract 4 from the y coordinate. So that's going to be negative 3, negative 2. To go to the left, you're going to subtract 4 from the x coordinate. That's going to be negative 7, 2. Subtracting 4 from negative 3 gives you negative 7. The y coordinate stays the same. And then to get the point to the right, we're going to go add 4 to the x coordinate. So negative 3 plus 4 is going to be 1, and the y coordinate stays the same. And then we're going to just draw in our circle. I hope you found this video useful. If you did, please remember to like it.